It is. Hello and welcome to the first lesson on command tactics and strategy. Today, as it is the first lesson, we'll focus on the basic terms and concepts that will be used to convey information on the main subject. Let's get right into it. Before we can talk about fleets and formations, we need to establish a clear way to represent various ships as well as identify their roles. For now, we'll address the first issue. We'll be using my custom design scheme to represent certain models of ships. It's fine if you don't remember them all by heart, as there will usually be a keyboard brief on the side of the screen for your convenience. Each ship can be represented by its silhouette in its faction's colors. In the middle of the silhouette there can be information about its variant, so pay attention, especially if the silhouettes are identical or very similar. Multiple ships, which will usually be corvettes or fighters, might be grouped together into a formation, designated by a rectangle within which will be the ship type. A1 represents a flight, which is 2 to 4 ships. 2 identifies a squadron, which is 5 to 8 ships. And 3 is a wing, which consists from 8 to 24 ships. To quickly assess what a ship is good at, we can look at its role. Roles are a kind of keyword that describes the general idea of how the ship was designed to be used. Now, since covering each role would take too much time, we'll cover the most used capital ship ones. For details, refer to the unit role guide, link below. These ships are made to engage much smaller craft than themselves, usually supporting multiple AA batteries and/or strong ECM. They'll also typically possess light weapons capable of supporting larger ships. Ships made to engage craft larger than themselves. They usually support heavy weapons and do not possess AA capability. A specialization of them with multiple torpedo launchers is called a torpedo boat. Brawlers are made to engage units of similar size at close range. They are typically broadside oriented and rather slow, so good support is usually necessary. Their additional capabilities like shield leech beams or jammers can make or break this kind of ship. Their main task is, wait for it, carry carriers to the battlefield. Carriers usually have self-defense oriented weapon systems, so engaging on the front line is not optimal for them. A specialization of battle carrier adds weapons at the cost of embarked squadrons, and those ships can be positioned significantly more aggressively. Vessels of this role specialize in ship-to-ship combat, engaging vessels of similar or smaller size than themselves. Typically well-rounded, though sometimes heavy on anti-capital artillery, they are made for a tactic called the line, from which the ship class was spawned. As with ground-to-ground artillery, artillery ships possess a large complement of long-range weapons, excelling at combat at considerable distances from the enemy. Best used against vessels of similar size or larger than themselves, provided proper support of course. There are very many different formations and tactics associated with them, but I'll cover the most important ones. The line is a formation where ships form an about straight line facing the enemy. Many of the capital battles are fought in this manner, and Imperial commanders usually prefer this tactic. The line is primarily used when you can outperform the enemy in capital-to-capital slugging match, as ships in the line will unlikely be in range of any more targets than those in front of them. This can be partially mitigated by using the line with ships with substantial long-range weapon systems. As you can guess, Imperial Star Destroyers are perfect for this type of formation. Flying wedge is a formation where ships form about a filled triangle facing the enemy. A wedge is often used as an opening formation to pry enemy lines open or to engage the center and attempt a flanking maneuver with one of the wedge's sides. The approach with this formation places the spearheading ship as the first target for the enemy forces, necessitating either an extremely durable vessel or rotating ships into the spearhead position. Either way, it is very likely that the spearhead won't survive an assault in this formation against a similarly sized or larger fleet. Concave is a formation where ships form a segment of a circle with the approximate focal point on their target. It's typically used for maximizing fire saturation on a single target while maintaining range. The concave usually requires a numeric advantage over the enemy, as with not enough ships, it will deform into a line formation. Also, due to the ship intensiveness of the formation, it usually is easy to break in the center with a proper counterattack. A concave employed against too wide of an enemy formation places elevated risk on the edge ships, as they will find themselves the closest to the enemy. As we go into more advanced topics, you'll see us returning to these three basic formations on multiple occasions, so be sure to at least vaguely remember each. With this, the introductory lesson is over. Do you wish for a continuation? If so, please let me know below. So as always, thanks everyone for watching, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and see you next time. Take care!